We are back. Actually, not really, because my voice is pretty much at its limit. Hello there, internet. Mogwai here, and I got yet another 12-year-old React Andy video for you guys today. And dude, I'm on my limit, actually. I'm losing my voice, as you guys can tell. I'm gonna have to tone it down for this video, even though it's been quite a while since I have recorded a video. Yeah, hopefully this explains a little bit as to why I haven't been posting anything regarding the new expansion. I've been wanting to do a reaction or review of Jhin and the cards that we've been seeing up until now, because this expansion is absolutely amazing. But unfortunately, I got sick with COVID about like 10 days ago or something. Yeah, around a little bit more than that, actually. And it hit me hard. You know, there's some people who go without like symptoms and stuff, but I unfortunately am not one of them. As yeah, it hit me quite hard, and I'm still recovering from it, as you can see, as my voice at least is existent as of now, because a few days ago I still could not barely speak. So we're getting somewhere. But yeah, I'm gonna do the best with what I have here. You know, I'm gonna be a little bit rusty because I haven't recorded in a while, and that's gonna affect me as well. And also, you know, I can barely talk. That is fundamentally an issue when trying to record a video. But you know, I don't even know if we're gonna be able to cast the seasonals that I'm supposed to be casting this weekend. To be honest, like I have to probably. Yeah, I probably have to talk to some people about that, because I don't know if it's gonna be physically possible for me. I'd love to though, because it's going to be really exciting. And man, I just wanted to record. I've just been looking at the right moment to just dive right into it, and I figured since we got a new reveal here with Illaoi, I could do, you know, my standard 12-year-old React Andes, and I really did miss doing those, and of course gameplay videos as well. I just miss you guys. How have you been doing? How's life? How's everything? What have you been playing? Are you excited for the new expansion? Are you still like around? You know, are you shocked that I'm like actually a thing? You probably forgot about me since I haven't been uploading in a while. Tell me what's up. You know, and what's in your mind. Just leave me a comment. It'll actually. I really miss reading my comments, and I miss interacting with you guys and all that good stuff. So yeah, it feels a bit awkward to make a video when you have such a big pause, you know, but I've been doing all sorts of things, and I did plan on making a comeback much earlier, but you know, COVID happened, and when you actually lose your voice, then doing YouTube can be quite difficult, believe it or not. So yeah, that's me and my little update. I wanted to do like an actual proper update video in which I talked to you guys about what I've been doing, you know, all this time and what I've been up to and all that stuff. But I just want to lead things off by saying that this expansion has really blown me away. I think it's going to be really, really good. I'm looking at all the cards that are being brought in, and it's just, honestly, it's everything that I wanted. It's like it seems to be the antithesis of Bando City, which is absolutely insane. Like, we're getting a bunch of support for old established archetypes, new deep cards, more like ram cards, like the 6-drop that buffs. I mean, I'll go over all of them, but there's just so much to talk about. It's really exciting from a deck building perspective, and you know, I am losing vocal power as I talk more and more. So I think it's important for us to just actually dive into the champion and try to react to it. Hopefully I can speak by the end of this recording. And we'll go on with that. I can barely hear myself with headphones now. Oh my God. So yeah, I hope you guys have been doing great. Hopefully this intro wasn't too rambly, but to be fair, it has been a while, and I feel like it is warranted. So yeah, like 4 minutes after I started this video, we're actually going to watch the video. We're going to be react-anding to Illaoi. I am very familiar with Illaoi for the same reason I'm familiar with Jhin, actually, and that is for when I dabbled into TFT by the end of December. I played quite a bit of team type tactics, and Illaoi was one of the champions that I would go for a lot. In fact, I would play these two a lot in the same comp, even though I would eventually drop Illaoi because she was an early unit, as she was a part of the mercenary package, right? And I liked using that a lot with Gameplank and Misfortune to eventually build up for the bodyguard enchanter. It was enchanters, right? I used enchanters and Jhin as a sniper. And yeah, Illaoi was one of my go-tos at first, even though she apparently wasn't one of the best here. But yeah, in TFT at least. We do know that I have seen the technical cards, which we'll be going over today as well, because we're gonna be talking about all the octopus stuff that we got with Illaoi here. And regarding Illaoi herself, I expect her to be, I think a 6-drop. You know, she be thick, so I do expect her to be pretty big in that sense, and maybe like a late game sort of bomb. But maybe she is like Jin, like a 4-drop. Who knows? I am also hoping that she will be. Will she be a Runeterra champion, or will she be actually Bilgewater? Because we know that Jin is a Runeterra champion. I would love for all 4 champions to be Runeterra champions. But honestly, I have no idea. Maybe she's just straight up Bilgewater. That could also be the case. I actually don't know. So, yeah, I actually have no idea if that's the case. So we're going to see. And yeah, without further ado, let's stop rambling. Let's actually see what Illaoi is all about. Let me make sure that I'm actually, I am recording correct. Yeah. It's not a video without that phrase. All right, let's do this. Illaoi, oh no. Oh no. I need to click here because I'm using the space bar, but the power of the space bar actually does not. Oh, it's a different look to Illaoi. She's got like more makeup going on here, right? Illaoi serves the Mother Serpent. All right. Now the space bar works. I repeat, the space bar works.
Life is too short for fear.
Yeah. Oh, it starts with the Path of Champions.
Fortune favors the bold.
Okay.
Stand.
Okay, she is Bilgewater. So she's not a Runeterra champion like Jin. She's actually a Bilgewater champion. And she's a 4-mana 1/6 with Overwhelm, which, you know, makes sense. Attack spawn 1, which is the tentacle thing, right? Like you spawn a 1/1. Then I gain power equal to your strongest tentacles power this round. And to level up, she's seen tentacles. I've seen tentacles. I've seen how many tentacles? That's a little bit confusing. I've seen tentacles or ideal 15+ damage. But she, does that mean that she just spawns? That there must be like a typo or something there. That's real. I'm really confused. Am I misreading this? Is that where my head at? I've seen tentacles or ideal 15+ damage. I think we're gonna have to figure out exactly how the level up goes, but yeah, so a 4-drop like Jin, again, Bilgewater, not a Runeterra champion like Jin, and tied to the whole tentacle archetype, which makes sense as we have seen the cards from her yesterday.
And be tested.
And be tested.
Defend yourself.
Okay, so they do explain tentacle here, which the keyword spawn. You summon a 1/1 tentacle, or if you already have one, you give it +1/+1 for each spawn, right? So if it says spawn 3, I assume you get a 3/3 tentacle. And then your strongest tentacle and an enemy strike each other. Tentacle Smash. Is that her signature spell? Looks like it. Tentacle Smash!
I have always felt very fortunate.
Okay, so it is definitely not just seeing a tentacle. All right? Her level up requirement is not quite honest because she would be leveled up already. We kind of assumed this, right?
Meet me.
Guns blazing.
So she just needs to deal like 15? Okay.
Look and see the glory of Nagakabouo.
Look and see the glory. Wait. She already won? What about the level up? New star power, prophet of an older god. When allies attack, spawn 1. Okay, so this is for Path of Champions. So now these videos are like kind of like mixed between Path of Champions and the actual gameplay, which is okay. What are you gonna do?
By my honor, you must die.
The sea's protection take.
I just feel like they made them a little bit more convoluted this way, but maybe that's just my opinion. Answered Prayer. Oh, I saw this card. It can be either spawn 2 or you can pay 5 mana to spawn 4. A pretty good, you know, anytime a card is flexible for different stages of the game, that's pretty neat.
Takes many forms.
When the water is still, you must make waves.
Ah, yeah, we saw this.
Or be moved.
Strike quickly, strike deftly.
Stand strong beneath.
Spawn 2, draw 2. Okay.
This This is it. Land or drown.
All right. When you spawn, increase its value by 1. Okay, so you get 1 more on your spawns. Attack, spawn 1, then fully heal your strongest tentacle, and I gain stats equal to its stats this round. Okay. How does that differ much from her like leveled up version? I mean, let's take a look. I mean, she fully heals, right? Like that's a big deal, right?
We will regain what we have lost.
Nagakabara.
Nagamaboros! Nagamaboros! Now I know what Nagamaboros is. Like the Sentinel guy. Nagamaboros got us. Okay, it comes together. Grant my supported ally elusive. Yeah, another relic. Okay, cool. Yeah, I feel like this just.
Are the anchors?
I feel like this just makes it a little bit convoluted, honestly. But honestly, that's probably me just being a Runeterra boomer and just being like, no, I just want my gameplay. Champion Reveal videos back. Yeah,
The drowned small men.
okay, that's a round for us.
Blessing.
Woo! Oh, actual Nagapaporos. Round start, spawn 2. Then if your strongest tentacle has 12 or more power, create a Nagamaporos Tantrum in hand. Nagamaporos Tantrum is a 0 mana focus speed with fleeting that says starts a free attack with 4 Nagamaporos tentacles. Nagamaporos tentacles are 1/1 with ephemeral. When I'm summoned, grow my stats to that of your strongest tentacle. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's like the epitome of just like, holy shit. Okay. Okay, that is power. That is power. This tentacle archetype feels, because one of those things like, okay, it seems like a pretty straightforward mechanic, but it's kind of like this sort of like just ongoing pressure threat that just never goes away, if that makes any sense, right? Like you have these tentacles that just keep going about. If it's removed, if your opponent just destroys it, then you can just spawn a new one and make it grow again. You know, it kind of like, it gives me sort of like this, you know, like Poison Ivy sort of like boss from Batman, you know, with these plants. That's like a very weird comparison, but I think you know what I'm saying here. It's like, it's pretty fitting, you know, like this endless source of power, right? That just keeps growing, and then if you cut off a head, you know, another one grows. Like that's kind of like what the tentacles are. I think they nailed that pretty well with the design.
Dark.
And this is a pretty sweet boss monster, if you ask me, with Nagamaporos. Like I think if there was ever gonna be a Nagamaporos card, it had to be just like this one. Unleash the motherfucking Kraken, man.
Oppose me and die.
Oh, you're gonna die.
Growth demands effort. Witness. Nagasho.
Oh, that's a pretty sweet package. All right, so we got the tentacle right there, you know, which is essentially what this entire mechanic or keyword revolves around. We got Tentacle Smash, which, again, I assume is Illaoi's signature spell. Here we see the differences between her. Like, initially, it seems like she's one of those champions that doesn't get as much out of being leveled up as you would expect, because it seems to be a pretty expensive. I still don't know like what the level up requirement is exactly, right? Like I've seen tentacles. Oh, English. COVID. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now. It only took me like 14 minutes to get it. I've seen tentacles, or I deal 15 or more damage. All right, so with either her or the tentacles as well. But it says or I. So not both tentacles and I, right? Like she doesn't include herself, or does she? She's still a bit confusing. Okay, I've seen tentacles or I. I mean, or implies that it's either the tentacles that dealt 15 damage or I've dealt 15 damage first. But I don't know in what world she deals 15 damage before the tentacles do, because she does depend on the tentacles to actually deal damage herself, right? So that's where I'm a little bit confused there. But because if it was like, if both the tentacles, if it means that the tentacles and her contribute to the 15 damage, then I think that would make more sense. I think that would be more more of a reliable level of win condition, more of a doable one at least. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that's how it works. You can sum up the amount of damage that the tentacles and she has dealt. So, when you attack, you spawn one tentacle, and then you get power equal to your strongest tentacle this round. Obviously, you want to have a bigger tentacle so that you were able to deal more damage with her and thus, increase her level up. So while I was saying that you are able to potentially just kind of power through removal with your tentacles by having just spawning more and more, the smaller the tentacles are, the slower everything else will get, and ultimately, it still is worth it to wither them down, right? If you can. But if you do level her up, when you do attack, you still spawn one, but you fully heal your strongest tentacle. It feels kind of like a win more situation, though. It's hard to evaluate this because I don't really know exactly, just how regularly big these tentacles become, right? Until we actually playtest these cards, we don't know, what's the average size of a tentacle at a certain stage of the match, right? It seems that with all the support that we do have, it's relatively easy to get them big, right? But it also depends on the matchup and a bunch of different factors, interaction, etc. So we have to see exactly how regularly big they become for me to see just how valuable this fully healing the strongest tentacle effect ultimately is. But if you regularly get tentacles to be pretty decently big, then this ability is actually much better than it seems at first. And you also gain stats equal to his stats this round. So when she levels up, not only is she gaining power, but she's gaining health as well. Which on top of her already really high health stat, makes her pretty hard to kill via damage and combat as well. Which is important because it's an ability that triggers upon attack. So having a high health stat on units like this is really key. So Illaoi feels pretty damn decent, man. It really depends on again how good tentacles are, but honestly it seems pretty promising as an archetype. I think the power level is definitely up there, at least for my first impressions, and I'm really excited to mess around with it. It seems really, really fun. It's something that's very different from what you're used to doing with Bilgewater, right? Bilgewater is very diverse as a region already, and more so than you would think, right? Because even though you have stuff like Gangplank and Misfortune and Twisted Fate, which can be played together and can represent a lot of similar archetypes, especially Misfortune and Gangplank, then you have Nautilus with the sea monsters, which we're getting more deep support, by the way, and now you have Illaoi on top of that. You have Tahm Kench too, we get a lot of very diverse play patterns out of the champions from Bilgewater, and this is a very neat addition to the region. Really, really excited about it. Tentacle Smash, allows you to essentially, it's kind of a poor version of a Strike Spell from Demacia, but that's essentially what other regions get. And you're able to, contribute to generating more. Just love it. She's just smashing with a tentacle. That's actually what she's doing. Okay. I still don't know how she works. Does that tentacle come out of, the jar that she's holding or something? I'm not really sure how that is, but it does seem to be exactly that. Buru Leader, which allows you to just start a free attack with one of these tentacles, which could lead to some cool synergies with other regions and other champions as well. There may be several ways to mix these champions or these tentacles with other champions, and I'm really excited to venture into that. And Buru Leader is Buru Leader English is a very, very important card for that. Answered Prayer, again, diversity is good in regards to the ability to make an impactful play at different stages of the game. So being a good play at 2 mana, but also being good later in the line as well is very important for a card like this. So I really like the design of that. The Eye of Nagaboros allows you to draw, which is, again, kind of like a War Salvage, but not really in this archetype because it is actually allowing you to spawn. So more card draw for Bilgewater, and then of course the big bad boss monster in Nagaboros. So yeah, just phenomenal set. Really, really excited to mess around with this. I'm not sure if I'm as excited about as I am about Jhin, because Jhin from a deck building perspective is just so intriguing, and I will be talking about that as soon as I recover a little bit of voice and I can actually go on talking without. I feel like I'm fading little by little here. Oh my god, dude. I'm not gonna lie, I'm worse than I expected myself to be because I gave myself a lot of rest But, you know, apparently it wasn't enough. God damn, dude. If any of you guys have any advice for, like, things that I can do, like any medicine that I can take or whatever to, like, just speed up the healing process for my vocal cords, I would really appreciate it, because I'm not really sure what I'm going to do, to be honest. But, man, nonetheless, really, really dope shit. Love this package. We're going to go ahead and hop on to Twitter real quick. We're already talking about this like 20 minutes. I'm definitely rambling quite a bit, but yeah, why not? I haven't rambled in like a while, so I'll give myself a bit of freedom in that sense. So yeah, let's go ahead and pause real quick and go to Twitter and see if there's more cards for us to talk about. All right, and we are back. I'm going to take out these headphones so I can actually... Because I think I actually talk louder when I have the headphones on, so that's not really helping. Let's take a look at the other cards that were revealed the other day. Like, we saw the Tentacle here, right? But there were some more cards revealed in this mini video here that we want to talk about. We already saw Buru Leader, but there were at least a couple of ones, like the Watchful Idol, right? This card feels really neat, absolutely vital for the archetype, in case you're wondering. Reminds you of the Monkey Idol. It even shares, you know, the same kind of name, as it is a 1-mana Monkey Idol in a way that allows you to spawn a tentacle at the beginning of every round start. If you already have a tentacle, then it will be granting it more power, right? So being able to play this turn 1 is just really neat. It's going to be absolutely essential for the tentacle archetype, as it's going to allow you to build up these tentacles from the get-go while having a pretty strong unit that's going to be very difficult for your opponent to interact with early on, unless they're Noxus with Ravenous Flock. And even then, you'll be getting some value out of it already, because it's important to know that the tentacles are not ephemeral, unlike the monkeys that the Monkey Idol makes. And it's hard not to compare the two cards. Like, this card seems to be doing a lot, man. For 1 mana, it is a really strong value engine. Definitely a great thing to start things off with, and it feels like it is really up there in power level and going to be an absolutely, like I said, 100% essential for the archetype, for sure. So you got the Watchful. That seems to be like the Terror of the Tides, I think. We got the Buru Lookout. When I'm summoned. Oh, the Buru Sentinel. That's why he's talking about Nagamoporos all the time. He's a Buru. I wonder if like Burus are like this like Bilgewater tribe or something. Nonetheless, 5-mana 4/3 that says when I'm summoned, spawn 3. So she will either add +3/+3 stats to an already existing tentacle, or will spawn a 3/3/1. Seems to also be pretty important, as it adds it's quite a bit of muscle onto the archetype, right? Even though for 5 mana, it's pretty expensive sort of play at that point, right? Just to build up the tentacle a little bit, because you're not even building it that much. So I'm not really sure how good this one will ultimately be, but you are going to be limited in regards to the options that you have to build up these tentacles, so she may be important. And then we got the Sea's Voice. Like, she's standing right next to Illaoi, I believe. And yeah, the Sea's Voice attacks, spawn 1, and give your strongest tentacle overwhelm this round. I feel like this card is going to be really crucial, because being able to get a payoff off of building up your tentacle to really high levels is super important, and giving something overwhelm is just, yeah, really, really important. I think like this card, the same reason as to why the 1-drop will be crucial. Like, I feel like this card will be crucial as well for any sort of tentacle archetype. And it's also pretty telling that Illaoi wasn't really going to be a 3-drop. It makes like you have another 3-drop already with the Buru Leader. I think it's called the Buru Leader, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the Buru Leader is a 3-drop as well. So that's why I was pretty convinced that Illaoi, I thought she was going to be a 6-drop, but that she wasn't going to be a 3-drop for sure, because those two seem very, very important. And the Sea's Voice, yep, what can you say? Give big boy tentacle overwhelm. Profit, right? Like, pretty essential. Pretty essential indeed. She big. And then we got Answered Prayer, who is a 2-mana spawn 2. Yeah, we already talked about this one. I actually mentioned this one already. And that is the Buru package, ladies and gentlemen. So overall, really dope stuff. Like I said, a great addition to Bilgewater. Very excited to mess around with it, and really keen, man, because it doesn't feel like right now, off the top of my head, I'm not really exactly sure what I want to be combining this with. There's several options, right? And it's gonna be really interesting because there's always the option of just going Demacia with rally effects, right? Because there are several attack effects going on here, but now we're getting more and more rally options spread. Like even Bilgewater has access to rally all of a sudden. You know, they have a weaker shampoo for Lurk. You know, so you can even add that to something like this if you really want the rally effect. So the options are there. And I don't know, I'm really excited to mess around with this. I think this package is really promising. It looks really damn fun. And it's also very flexible from a deck building perspective, which is like, what more can I ask out of an expansion, right? Like, what more? It is impossible. And with that, I'm going to end my TED Talk here, and I'm going to rest my voice for a little bit. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this big mess of a video. I was all over the place probably, and I rambled a lot, but it's been a while, and you know, I'm gonna go ahead and say I was a bit rusty. I'm gonna use that as an excuse. Hopefully you guys enjoyed nonetheless. Hope you're excited for daily content to come. I really miss doing this. You know, naturally, like I've been doing YouTube for quite some time now, and having taken some time off, like I was just so eager to return, and you know, the whole sickness kind of like you know, really postponed that, unfortunately. But I just really missed you guys, and hopefully you are excited for not only the expansion but also for the decks that we're going to be brewing up here, and for all the upcoming content, all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for daily Legends of Runeterra content. Have us all day. I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow.